After Biden's disastrous performance last night, even the liberals are calling for him to step down. Is he going to, and what would happen if he did? We have a lot to unpack here on Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. This segment is sponsored by Lean, a weight loss solution for those looking to lose 10 pounds or more. Check it out today at leanvnn.com. I'm Elijah Schaffer. Let's start the show. Well, it's rather suspicious what's been going on after the disastrous Biden performance at the debate stage last night. Many are saying this is a planned downfall as Democrats are going to try to replace him. Well, The Hill explains that even the New York Times columnist called on Biden to drop out after the debate. Dominic Mastrangelo explains this. Several leading columnists for the New York Times are urging President Biden to drop out of the 2024 presidential race, citing his poor performance during Thursday night's debate against former President Trump. President Biden is a good man who capped a long career in public service with a successful presidential term. But I hope he reviews his debate performance Thursday evening and withdraws from the race, throwing the choice of a Democratic nominee to the convention in August, Times columnist Nicholas Kristof wrote. Biden's disastrous debate performance didn't put to rest the doubts about his age and effectiveness, Kristof wrote, calling it a wrenching choice for the president, but arguing that it would be the safest course for our nation. Thomas Friedman, another Times columnist who has written about his friendship with Biden, struck a similar tone, saying, I cannot remember a more heartbreaking moment in American presidential campaign politics in my lifetime. He wrote, saying, a good man and a good president has no business running for re-election. If Biden is to drop out, he would be remembered as among the better presidents in our history, Friedman argued. If he insists on running and he loses to Trump, Biden and his family and his staff and party members who enabled him will not be able to show their faces. They deserve better. America needs better. The world needs better. Now, what's insane about this is that a lot of people are pointing out this was the plan all along. There is an intentional push to get Biden to run for people to realize that he's cognitively declining, humiliate him, and then replace him. Either he steps down or he dies. And when I mean by die, I mean maybe they kill him. Now, when they say he had a disastrous debate performance, obviously they're saying, oh, well, Trump lied and that he, as Mark Cuban said, at least Biden was honest. Well, unfortunately, even CNN is in on it saying, yeah, actually, Biden was not only not sharp, he was downright dishonest. Watch.
Some of them. He said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he supported, never endorsed him himself.
So what I think is pretty crazy here is CNN is even saying, look, Biden didn't have his facts straight. And the issue with this, though, and that I think a lot of people are trying to understand, is that, is this a part of Agenda 2030? Because if you read the original decline of the United States, is they wanted to not only rig an election, but they wanted to bring in a leader that people couldn't trust and didn't believe was running the country. And then eventually they want to run the nation with a group or a board of unelected bureaucrats. This is really the global idea and what they're trying to do for the United States. So they don't want a centralized democratic leadership. We kind of already have that sort of, some background shadow figures, as we call it, deep state. But Red State explained this. Democrats actually can replace Biden with Newsom or anyone that they want, and I'll explain how. And before we jump into that, though, I want to remind you that if you're trying to lose 10 pounds or more by summer, I know we're getting into it in the next few months, you should check out this amazing product called Lean. Now, the doctors at Brickhouse Nutrition, the reason why they designed this is because everyone's taking those injectable drugs and they're having massive weight loss, but they're really expensive. And I quite frankly don't want to be poking myself with needles. Thankfully, there is actually a great solution in order to lose weight fast that does the same thing as those drugs, regulates your blood sugar and your appetite. But I got to remind you, if you go to leanvnn.com, use my promo code VNN, you're going to get 15% off plus free rush shipping. But if you're only trying to lose a few pounds, this is not for you. This is for serious dieters who are trying to lose 10 pounds or more. Go to leanvnn.com, LEANVNN.com. Use my promo code VNN to get 15% off plus free rush shipping. Check it out. Now, as I mentioned, they say Democrats can replace Biden with Newsom or anyone they want. Here's how. In the lead up to Thursday's debate, the conventional wisdom was that Biden had to convince everyone, party bosses and influential pundits especially, that he wasn't too old and addled to be the Democrat nominee. Biden more than bombed, and there are essentially unanimous calls among Democrats for the party to replace him as the nominee. The undeniable star of the CNN spin room has been California Governor Gavin Newsom, and we'll go down here. Speaking with Kamala, my time I have predicted that Gavin Newsom will be the Democrats' 2024 nominee. But here's what it says. Judging by an opinion piece posted by the Sacramento Bee in the hour after the debate, at least some Democrats are not bothered by Newsom's identity as a cisgender white man. However, I researched the DNC's bylaws for the 2024 convention back in November and found that, yes, it can, but it would most easily happen after convention ends. I explained this in the appearance on Dana Lash's radio show. Under the DNC's call for convention, it's essentially impossible for Biden to be replaced at the convention against his will because of the rules related to pledged delegates. He'd have to drop out. However, there's a provision allowing the DNC to replace the nominee for president or vice president after the convention occurs in the event of death, resignation, or disability of the nominee from Article 9, Section G of the call. Explains it right here. Filling a vacancy on the national ticket in the event of death, resignation, or disability of the nominee of the party for president or vice president after the adjournment of the national convention, the national chairperson of the Democratic National Committee shall confer with the Democratic leadership of the United States Congress and the Democratic Governors Association and shall report to the DNC, which is authorized to fill the vacancy or vacancies. So the point is that they can replace him. Do you think they will? And is this their plan all along? Are we ever going to have a fair election? Is it going to occur? I got to get your feedback. Drop me a comment and like this video. If you want to get more updates like this and you enjoyed these reports, make sure that you subscribe to our Twitter account and to our Rumble. We're at Vigilant News. You can find us there. Or if you want these videos directly to your inbox, sign up for our newsletter at vigilantnews.com. My name is Elijah Schaffer. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.